Facts and lies and rock and roll. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Facts and Lies and Rock and Roll. I am here today, your host, Planty, with somebody that you might already know. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Tom, where are you from?
I'm on the Everything We Learned from the Simpsons podcast with a fella called Planty.
That's me. Yeah, you are. Fantastic. The other podcast, the one that's getting the fucking numbers at the minute. I can't seem to figure that out. But it's absolutely battering the numbers.
Yeah. Considering at the time of recording this, we've not done an episode for ages. So people may just be listening to it again because they're missing it. I think that's highly unlikely. But...
I think it's highly, highly unlikely. Yeah, we support. What do we do on that one again? Remind me.
We watch The Simpsons and then talk about it with kind of picking up on the different cultural references and things we've learned from America and kind of putting those into viewing those through a kind of lens of from Northern England, where we're both from.
Very much so, very much so. But this week, I've asked you onto this to bring me a very northern band, an extremely northern song for men only from the north. So I'm really looking forward to finding out what brilliant northern band and northern powerhouse song you've brought us, Tom. What is it?
I am doing a song by a band from the north of London. The song is Embarrassment by the band Madness.
Right. When you said that this is the one that you're going to bring, because it was the first thing you thought of at the time, I thought, bloody hell, it's one of my favourite songs.
Yeah. We've seen it live together.
We have at the Sands.
Carlisle.
It was meant to be in the park and they didn't get the permits in time.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm really glad that they didn't, because if you remember, it absolutely tipped it down that Sunday.
I remember the walk back.
Yeah.
Very wet.
Why have you bought this song in particular, other than it's the first thing you thought of?
It's the first thing I thought of. Thinking about a song, like a good pop song by a band that I've liked a very long time, since I was a child. And it's a song with kind of a bit of a dark side to it and a bit of it's a little bit bleak in terms of what it's about. And I like that. We both appeared on the What the Fuck Do You Want podcast, talking about ska and the ability to kind of have quite angry lyrics or political lyrics with quite a jaunty sound. This does that, I'd say.
It does, yeah. You mentioned there about liking Madness as a kid, and I was exactly the same. I think Madness is one of those bands that I first truly loved as a kid. And do you think that they maybe that the conversations that they're having, or the vast majority of the things that they talk about, or the jauntiness of the music, do you think kids, that's the kind of thing that kids just kind of latch on to?
Yeah, I think not this song, but when I was little, or growing up, like songs like Baggy Trousers about school.
Trousers. Yeah.
And I had a VHS video of that on as well. Which is just a video of them just dicking about in the school with the saxophone player who I think wrote Embarrassment.
Okay.
Thompson, just like floating around.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, fantastic. House of Fun as well. I always say House of Fun, but that's really quite adult. It's an adult conversation, that.
And maybe it is because it's a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
It's why it kind of appeals to, as a kid, it's like, this is quite funny. So yeah.
Released on the 14th of November 1980, where it spent 12 weeks on the UK singles chart, hitting a high of 4th.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. It was behind Tom, and you'll like this.
Oh, let's go.
Not a lot. At number 3, it's up 9. It's Banana Republic by the Boomtown Rats.
Don't know that one.
2, for the second week on the trot, it's the Blondie cover of the brilliant The Paragons' The Tide Is High.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, thankfully not an Atomic Kitten in sight for that one. And at number 1 for the 4th week, it's ABBA with Super Trooper.
Can't argue with ABBA.
No, it's my first musical memory, Super Trooper. My dad singing Super Trooper.
When you were 7 months old.
No, I'd have been about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So it's much later than this. So, I mean, I'm the same as you. I don't know that particular Boomtown Rats song, but I only really know 2. Rat Trap and I Don't Like Mondays.
Yeah. Same ones.
And give us all your fucking money.
Yeah.
As well.
Or Bobby Geldof.
Yeah, exactly. What's this one about then, Tom? Because you mentioned it's got a bit of a grim bent to it.
Yeah, so Lee Thompson, who I think is a saxophone player in Madness, apologies if he's not, his sister got pregnant when she was 17, and that alone would be a cause for embarrassment in particular communities at that time. But the fact she was white and the father of the baby was black, so it was all about the potential, what he thought everyone would be saying about it.
Yeah.
And reading what he said after, he just wanted everyone to be happy. Obviously, there was no issue that the father of the baby was black, but he didn't want his other relatives to be angry about it. So he just wrote this song.
Yeah. The lyrics, and I'm just looking at them again now, though I know them, it's one of those things where, you kind of know them, but you just know them because it's in you. And you don't really think, you don't always think of them. But the lyrics are all about people not wanting to know anybody, people not coming round to see them anymore. Our aunt don't want to know. She says, "What will the neighbours think?"
Yeah.
Our uncle says we're a disgrace to the human race. How can you show your face when you're a disgrace to the human race? Jesus.
Yeah. And at the time, I mean, it was, people would be like chastised by the community, young women getting pregnant out of wedlock, but then to have that happen where it's somebody who's not white, in a white community, and also this being a time where the National Front were at large, and it is a pretty. I mean, we're talking about how shit things are in the UK at the moment, but they were very bleak in those days.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was still, quite a segregation. There was still quite a, and arguably there is now in many towns. The likes of Bradford and Blackburn. There is a. People kind of keep to themselves and all that kind of thing still, and that makes me sad, makes me angry, and there's not a lot of cultural kind of mixing in Carlisle, as an example, where I live, and that just makes me sad. But the one thing that isn't mentioned in this song is the happy ending that kind of came out of the song, and that's that when the child was born, Hayley, as she was called,
Haley,
was embraced by the family, and they kind of got over it. Is what I read. There was a little kind of mini interview.
There was a documentary on, and she was in it.
Oh, right, wow.
I think it was a few years ago. I think she was about 30 at the time. Yeah. I think she might have had a baby since as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just kind of accepted by the family, and she's probably about the same age as you, isn't she? So
she will be. Yeah. She'll be a little bit younger than me. Yeah, younger than me.
And just a good. It's such a kind of like any Madness song, really. It's very jaunty. You can have a dance to it.
Yeah, you can.
And it's just really providing social commentary of an issue at the time. So it's the combination of those two things. You can have a bit of a dance, you can have a bit of a think. Is what makes a good song.
That's it.
In my
That's ska and reggae all
opinion.
ends up,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
that is, and that's absolutely. As well as number 4 in the UK, it made it to number 11 in Belgium's Ultra Pop Top 40, which is
Ultra pop.
the best name of any chart. 4 in the Irish Republic and 2 in the Netherlands, which is always quite fun. Gold certified in the UK with 500,000 sales.
And looking at it was only the 6th Madness single.
Right. Okay.
So they had, the ones before. I mean, the Prince.
Yeah.
That's a very dancey,
Yes.
jaunty number. One Step Beyond.
Okay.
A Night Boat to Cairo.
Yeah.
And Baggy Trousers. Also My Girl, which I think is a
Oh yeah,
little bit less silly, but still quite silly.
Mm-hmm.
And then this, total change of pace.
Isn't it? Yeah, isn't it just? But do you know what? That's that. I mean, that's hit after hit after hit, isn't it?
And at the time, they were only, how old were they been? Like 21, 22.
Right. Wow.
Suggs was only, I think when they had the first single, Suggs was only 18.
Wow. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And I think I mentioned when we did the What the Fuck Do You Want podcast that a lot of it, they were just, I think they stole a lot of the instruments and they were just on the dole and I think Lee Thompson, who wrote this song, had been in Borstal, going out nicking.
Wow, fantastic!
So they were just proper bad lads in around North London. Yeah, probably not too far from Ian Jury.
No, probably not. Bringing it back to the start of the show. Yeah, the something about them that I just think is so quintessentially British, but the music isn't. You know, the backgrounds of reggae and ska. You know, they're a band of almost completely white young men. When at a time probably white young men would have been raging against that kind of music, and you know, mostly at least maybe in Leeds and not Nottingham. Maybe not Nottingham, because it's very very like North London in many ways. Nottingham. So.
I think it was all the punk scene, wasn't it, and the bad people, the oi scene, and the right wing and the National Front element of that. But then there was also the other side of the punk scene, and then all the ska bands that came through. And but I think Madness, just good working class lads.
Yeah. I've never met and had a conversation with a bad skinhead. I've got to say that. I know they exist. I know they do because I've seen them on the TV. But I've never sat down and had a conversation with a skinhead that I wouldn't want to have another drink with.
Yeah. I think it's usually good skinheads and bad skinheads, and it's usually the good ones that you meet, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Fantastic. Anything else you want to add to this before we head off?
Probably is. This is bad. This is fucking. Just had a flashback then to a job interview.
Okay.
Have you got any questions you want to ask? Probably. But I said, like 5 minutes later. Oh yeah, forgotten.
Yeah, hang on. Can we record again?
Yeah, I'll send you a voice note or something if I remember. Just edit it in seamlessly.
We'll fix it in post. Yeah. All right, Tom. Quick reminder where we can find you.
You can find me on the Every Simpson Pod Twitter for the Every Simpsons podcast.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Don't go on there that much, to be honest.
No.
Moment.
Yeah, it's just me sharing memes.
Twitter, it's just spending less time on Twitter. But yeah, I'm on there. And...
Okay, yeah, and we'll be doing. There'll be a new episode of that out in the last kind of week or so, I think. Brilliant. Thanks very much for bringing a favourite of mine, Tom. Hopefully the listeners enjoyed that, and we'll be back with more Simpsons episodes in the Everything We Learn from the Simpsons feed, and I'll be back with more of this and more of me and John on the 100 Things feed. So,
and I'm gonna go have a dance.
I don't blame you. All right, mate, take it easy.
All right.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Sex and lies and rock and roll was very good indeed.